Chris Watts shocked the world. Now, behind bars, he's still telling his story.
I am a new man. I am not the person who committed those horrible acts. God does not see me as a sinner.
Today, we'll read his prison letters. Words that reveal guilt, faith, and a mind the world is still trying to understand.
You are listening to Criminal Cases Journal. Real stories from the darkest corners of criminal history. Some names have been changed, and some tapes were never meant to be heard.
In 2018, a quiet Colorado family became the center of one of the most disturbing true crime cases of the decade. Shanann Watts and her daughters, Bella and Celeste, disappeared, only for the truth to unravel days later. Chris Watts, their husband and father, was arrested, confessed, and pleaded guilty to all charges. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. After the case faded from headlines, Watts was transferred from Colorado to the Dodge Correctional Institution in Wisconsin, where he remains today. Prison didn't end Chris Watts' story. It changed how he tells it. Today, Chris Watts lives a tightly controlled, repetitive life behind prison walls. He is held in maximum security custody and is reportedly housed in protective custody, separated from the general prison population. Inside his cell, Watts is said to keep photographs of his family. He also reportedly spends time reading the Bible as part of his daily routine. Despite his isolation, Watts is not completely cut off from the outside world. He continues to correspond with fans and pen pals, receiving letters from people who follow his case. Those messages range widely, from expressions of support to letters filled with anger and condemnation. It's a quiet, confined existence, one shaped by routine, reflection, and the weight of a crime that still draws attention years later. He received a large number of letters early on. A source who has communicated with Watts during his incarceration told newspapers. Many were from women who expressed sympathy and said they found him appealing. With limited ways to pass the time, he chose to respond, and some of those exchanges developed into ongoing correspondence. A few connections, in particular, have continued. According to the source, Watts has received more than 10 letters in the past week alone. Not all of the messages are supportive, the source added. Some express anger, while many come from faith-based individuals offering prayers. Others are from women interested in forming a personal connection. He replies largely because of the amount of time he has available. Other inmates say he has even responded to some of these letters, using his time in prison to correspond with pen pals and individuals who follow his case. The mail Watts receives is varied, from requests for prayer and spiritual messages to letters that include personal photos, as well as occasional hostile messages from those who condemn his crimes. Despite being in prison, Chris Watts continues to communicate with the outside world through letters. Some of these letters reveal how he reflects on his crimes through a deeply religious lens. In one, he wrote,
I have backslidden. I am like a sheep gone astray from the flock and have fallen into a pit. The snare of the enemy has entrapped me. The words of a harlot has brought me low. Her flattering speech was like drops of honey that pierced my heart and soul. Little did I know all her guests were in the chamber of death.
Watts frames his actions as moral failure and temptation, using biblical language to interpret his own behavior. It shows how he attempts to contextualize his past within a spiritual framework. He continues,
The lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. How did I not see it? How did I let this happen? The blessings you have bestowed upon me were right in front of me, and still I followed the perfume of a strange woman.
Here, Watts emphasizes self-blame while portraying his decisions as a struggle against desire and moral weakness. It highlights how he interprets his guilt through metaphor rather than confronting the harm caused. Later, he writes,
"The web of the enemy squeezes around my heart and is cocooning my soul to the point of suffocation. The enemy and his Jezebel mock and scourge me as they celebrate another capture."
Watts portrays himself as trapped and persecuted, using dramatic language to position himself as a victim of spiritual forces. This gives insight into how he mentally frames his confinement and culpability. He then shifts toward redemption.
"But, oh, that men would praise the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. You, O Lord, did not leave me captive or condemned. You heard the prayer of the destitute and of the prisoner appointed to death. You opened my eyes, you made my ears ready to perceive, and you said, 'Come forth.'"
This section emphasizes spiritual awakening and divine guidance, showing how Watts constructs a narrative of personal transformation. Finally, he concludes,
"The web of death loosened its grip, and I walked into the light of your presence. As I humbly kneeled before you, you said, 'Go and sin no more. Your faith has made you whole.'"
Here, Watts frames a resolution, portraying himself as spiritually restored. While compelling, this interpretation exists entirely within his personal perspective. For the public and investigators, these letters offer a window into Watts's mindset. They reveal how he uses faith and personal narrative to process guilt, maintain contact with others, and continue shaping his story, even while serving multiple life sentences in prison. It is a phenomenon that continues to puzzle both the public and criminal behavior experts. From inside a prison cell, Chris Watts still receives letters from women around the world.
I would love to tell you more about me. I'm extremely lonely and can use a friend. You to tears yet? That was my goal. Kidding, of course. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm even writing you. I know I'm a stranger, but I care about you and your situation. I can't help it. Is there anything you need? Can I send you something? A book, perhaps? Please, let me know. And don't be shy. Not only can you ask me anything, you can ask me anything. My brother was incarcerated for a long while. He told me getting mail was the highlight of his day. It put a smile on his face. Well, Chris, I hope I've put a smile on your face. I'm here for you. I'd keep writing more, but I don't know where you stand. So at this point, the ball is in your court. Again, if there is anything I can do for you, big or small, please don't hesitate to ask. Keep your head up and stay strong. Please know there are strangers out there, like me, who care about you. With friendship, Tatiana.
Some send money for his commissary account. Others include photographs or handwritten notes expressing sympathy. Many describe him as having kind eyes, while others suggest they believe he simply lost control under overwhelming pressure. A few go even further, offering emotional support, friendship, and sometimes even romantic interest. To many observers, it raises a troubling question. Why would someone feel drawn to a person responsible for such devastating crimes? Psychologists and criminologists recognize this pattern as Hybristophilia, a term used to describe an attraction to individuals who have committed serious criminal acts. While the concept is not new, high-profile cases often bring renewed attention to this complex and controversial psychological behavior. For inmates like Watts, this steady stream of letters can become deeply significant. It offers connection in an otherwise isolated environment and can allow an offender to reshape how they see themselves. In his replies, Watts is known to focus heavily on themes of faith and redemption. Rather than revisiting the details of the crimes that shocked the nation, He often frames his story around spiritual struggle, describing himself as someone who lost his way, but hopes to be forgiven. Experts warn that this kind of interaction can create a powerful psychological cycle. Public fascination fuels attention. Attention invites correspondence, and correspondence can reinforce an altered personal narrative. Yet beyond the headlines and ongoing intrigue, it is important to remember what remains at the center of this case: the lives that were lost. While media coverage and true crime discussions continue to examine the mindset of the offender, the lasting impact belongs to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, and to the family and community forever changed by their absence. Their story is not one of fascination, but of remembrance. And perhaps the most unsettling question remains: what is it about certain crimes that captures global attention? And what does that reveal about us as a society? In the end, true justice isn't in the spectacle. It's in remembering the victims, learning from the choices made, and striving to prevent such tragedies from repeating. That's the real story we need to tell. Until next time. Criminal Cases Journal.